Over the weekend, you probably saw news articles like this one, talking about how there are gas shortages in the United States right now, specifically on the eastern coast. And if you live on the East Coast, maybe you're experiencing this right now. What exactly is happening and why is there a gas shortage? Well, the short answer is hackers. As if 2021 couldn't get any worse, we now have hackers shutting down large sections of our fuel distribution lines. The group behind the hacking attack is called DarkSide, which is a pretty cool name for a hacker group, I'm just gonna say. According to the FBI, they introduced a huge ransomware attack that has disrupted the flow of nearly half of all of the gasoline and jet fuel supplies to the East Coast. They targeted Colonial Pipelines, which carries gasoline all the way from the Texas Gulf Coast to New York Harbor. So if you shut down Colonial Pipelines, like we're seeing right now, you are effectively cutting down half of the fuel supply on the East Coast, which is obviously going to have fairly dramatic effects when it comes to gasoline shortages. The New York Times continues and says that it seems like it was an act of extortion by the group, that apparently they began introducing ransomware in late August of last year, which is a long time, and they come from Eastern Europe, maybe even Russia. And I really love this headline from the BBC, where they say that the pipeline hackers didn't mean to create problems. They didn't mean to do anything wrong. They just wanted a little bit of ransom. Nothing wrong with that. And as Bloomberg reports, the South in particular may see catastrophic shortages in the near future. After all, the national average gasoline price rose to almost $3 a gallon, which is the highest it's been since 2014, which is a dramatic difference from the very low price we saw last year because of the pandemic. Bloomberg also points out that even though the Colonial Pipeline company has been at it for 4 days, they've only managed to restart a small segment of the pipeline, and they don't expect to substantially restore service before the weekend. That effectively means this shortage is going to continue. Things are going to get worse before they get better. And as if that wasn't enough, talking about gasoline shortages, I also came across this article, where they argue that we might even see gas shortages this summer. Now, this shortage isn't related to what we're seeing right now with the hackers, but it is related to COVID. Specifically, there are too few truckers, so they can't transport the gas. They point out that there appears to be a shortage of roughly 25% of tanker truck drivers needed to transport fuel. And it's pretty easy to see how having a quarter less truckers is going to have an influence on the shortage of gasoline. If you can't have people to transport it to other states, you're not going to have as much gas in those states. And as we're seeing right now, if you cut down the supply fairly dramatically, the demand doesn't change because people still need gas. That means the price has to go up because that's how supply and demand work. If you do live on the East Coast, or specifically in the South, are you seeing these shortages right now? If you are, let me know about that. If you have any video evidence or anything, well, you can email that to me too. It just seems like right now it's one thing after another. Not only did we have a fairly horrible jobs report, but now we have a gas shortage. So people who are trying to work might not be able to even go to work because they can't afford gas. Or they can't even find it. It's not just necessarily affording it. There are places actually running out of gas. So this is just not a great start to 2021. And I can't blame everything on Biden because this hacking has nothing to do with him, but I don't like Biden, so we'll just say that anyway. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.